So in this video, we are gonna discuss about mythical monsters, and rank them in a tier list from worst to best. And before we start, I just want to make this clear that rankings are always subjective, no matter what we do. And since most of these ranks depend upon my experience with a specific mythical, there might be a little bit variation in my list than yours. But feel free to criticize me on anything you feel like. So with that said, we start off with the video, and for that, there are a total of 48 mythicals in the game, each possessing immense power and abilities. And at number 48, we have the baby loaned. And this is the weakest monster in the entire game, as it does not attack at all. All he has is his special power, which stuns enemies globally, but even a low life like Slime King can do it. So a D tier for him. Then coming to number 47, and there we have Tlaloc, a low tier kind of monster. His attack includes him attacking monsters using his axe for not that great of a damage, and his skill is also equally useless, as he casts an unpredictable poison cloud which is of no help in an actual game. So a C tier. Then coming to number 46, and there we have Odin, a really pathetic in power god. He was never too powerful attack-wise, but his special used to make him a bit worthwhile. But after the recent balancing, he got an insane nerf to his special, making him practically useless, and gets him to C tier. But then coming to number 45, and there we have Bastet. And just like earlier mentioned monsters, Bastet never got the glory which one might expect from a cat goddess. Unless of course you're talking about simpy memes, then she got no match. But here, only a C tier. Then at number 44, we got Shupnikarat, and she is a cool cosmic attacking monster lady, but I can't call her useful by any means. I mean, surely she is better than non-mythicals, but in generality when the talk is about mythicals, we can't do much with her. So another C tier. Then coming to number 43, and there we have Cthulhu. And this behemoth of a monster is still not that great. Even after getting his base damage increased, he can be but if a help with his solid special though. But those special tentacles are pretty random, and cosmic element is also not that necessary anymore. So another C tier for him. Then coming to number 42, and there we have Myko, a weird love stunning monster, who does useless attacks with her decorated stick. But she is important to awaken 3 other monsters, making her somewhat of a unique monster. And she can also love stun enemies when awakened herself. So she gets a C tier. Then coming to number 41, and there we have Siren, another love stunning monster. But this one is a little better as firstly she can be helpful in island maps. Even thought she's not necessary monsters anymore. And secondly she can kind of stun with her normal attack too. But she still can't be considered a good monster. So another C tier. Then coming to number 40, and there we have Lauren, and she is a solid decent ranged monster, who can also creates a swarm of bats around her. And she definitely has become a lot better with the balance update than what she was before. But even with that, she can't escape the C tier. Then to number 39, and there we have Bordir. The Crimson Draconic Knight is a mega bulky monster, who smashes his hammer on the ground and creates flaming tornadoes. But the problem is that we have a lot of fire monsters in the mythical scene, and he does not hold up to the other ones, which makes him join the C tier too. Then at number 38 we got Dagi, and her being another love stunning monster puts her in same low tier like the rest of them. But since she got a bit better projections based attack, she gets put to a little higher spot, but can't escape the C tier yet. Then at number 37, we got Artemis, the highest on paper DPS dealer in the game right now. But it's not that true, and she still can't do any great stuff, so another C tier. And similarly to her, we have the other 2 Greeks being Zeus and Poseidon, where Poseidon sits at number 36, while Zeus sits at number 35, as Poseidon's splash and Zeus's chain lightning is much more powerful now. And these gods have also made a significant jump after the balance changes, where they used to sit at bottom but now they sit at the top of C tier. Then at number 34, we have Dervi, and this emerald dragon has an extremely fast-paced solid attack. In addition he can stun enemies and also have a cool character design. And yes, we consider design in this list too, because realistically we only need same 5 or 6 monsters in game. But we still summon others because they look cool. So for that, Dervi gets to B tier. Then coming to number 33, and there we have Seiryu, the latest addition to the Summoner Mythicals. And he is certainly not the brightest of the bunch, but he is just a bit better than Myco as he can at least attack. So B tier for him. Then at number 32, we have the White Tiger Byakko. And well, another monster who have made a massive jump in the ranking. And honest reason for this jump is simply that he can do splash damaging slashy lightning attacks now, so a B tier for him too. Then at number 31, we have Swolcidon. And this fish boy can deal a mega fishy damage to enemies, double to the amount of Poseidon. But nothing else changes, except that he can be seen as an inspiration to stay fit, unlike the other one which we'll come to in a while. But still, Swolcidon gets a B tier. Then at number 30, we have Ra, and once the greatest and necessary support unit. Now he has really lost all of his charm, as back in the day, lightning monsters were not this impressive. Plus he was the only freeze immunity for monsters. But now we have a shit ton of long-ranged lightning monsters. And Icarus also exists, which puts Ra into B tier. Then at number 29, we have Bro Zeus. And this is the evolution of Zeus. But he doesn't get that much special after evolution either, as he is also just 2 times stronger. And there's no change to his special buff either. And he also sets a really bad example by making unhealthy lifestyle look cool. So a B tier. Then next we have Onmyoji at number 28. And the sole reason is that Onmyoji has become a force of nature with an insane amount of buffs. Firstly, he got M element. Secondly, he got an extra summon. Thirdly, he got an exclusive charm which makes his special power stun enemies for 5 seconds. Which is a huge time if you ask me, but he still sits in B tier. Then at number 27, we have Moby, and he has fallen off from his previous ranks, as he is not a necessary monster to have anymore either. But he did got an ice element which makes his harpoon to turn icy cold. And it looks really appealing to eyes. So a B tier too. Then at number 26, we have Susanoo. And the Iron Raven is an extremely important unit in the game, where he can summon the broken rocks back. And you must know that rocks are super important in the game. So Raven plays a vital role. But the fact of the matter is that the maps which are beatable don't need him. And maps which are unbeatable don't get impacted by him. So another B tier, but a respectable one. Then at number 25, we have Santang. And he is a solid long-ranged mini-gun railing lightning monster, who can he fully utilized as an attacker, since he does not awaken without love stunners on map. But his special also deal global damage to all the love stunned monsters. So another B tier. Then at number 24, we have Garuda, the coolest attacking monster in the game. His fiery feathered attacks are extremely appealing to the eyes, and deal decent enough damage. Plus, he can also stun enemies using his special. So a B tier for him too. Then at number 23, we have Tiervoid, the 3rd Draconic Mythical, who can slow down enemies in the radius of her special attack. And that power is really useful against a massive swarm of enemies, especially when paired with a suitable attacking unit. So she sits at the top of B tier with that power. Then at number 22, we have Thor, a hammer-spinning god, but weakened beyond recognition. I don't think new players will be able to believe that this mythical used to sit amongst the top 5 at a point of time, with insane attack, and equally useful special, but special nerf and increase in competition has left him outclassed, but still an alpha tier. Then at number 21, we have Monkey King. And this monster got an infinite ranged attack, plus an amazing monkey damage over time attack, which is really impressive. And he can collectively do a massive damage to another alpha tier. Then number 20 is occupied by Suzaku, an almost infinite ranged fire feather throwing monster. And her reason for being on top is that she got an amazing looking attack, plus an almost infinite range, and 3 projectiles. And if you don't awaken her, she can properly utilize her attack, so that gets her an alpha tier as well. Then next is Quetzalcoatl at number 19, and he can give an amazing boost to both attack and speedy, immediately after being summoned. And that makes him a very go monster to have, as he is the greatest supporting mythical now, so an alpha tier as well. And similarly, we have Tezcatlipoca at number 18, and his upsides are cool design, a long-ranged lightning attack, a solid attack, a high critical ratio, and a special that can make enemies weak to lightning attack. So another alpha tier god. Then Brahma is at number 17, and his case is simple. He got an infinite ranged attack. He got the weirdest stunning ability, and he can also deal a ton of lightning damage. So there's no better tier than the alpha tier to put him in. Then Lond is at number 16, and Lond gets the greatest jump in ranking from its unevolved self, from lowest to here. And that's because Lond is a global attacker now, and deals a massive damage, though non-elemental, as only his attack is elemental. But he is still very solid as an attacker and a stunner, so alpha tier as well. Then at number 15, we have Genbu, and everyone's favorite fat turtle makes it to the bug leagues again, and he is an extremely solid unit, with his infinite ranged attacks, and you can utilize that attack if you don't awaken him. So another alpha tier. But at top of alpha tier, we have Amaterasu, and she is the former queen of this tier list videos. But well, downfalls happen, and same is with her. She's still very solid thought, and can deal fire damage to global enemies, so she is still a force to be feared. Then at number 13, we have Lontari, and this lion beast can do slashy damage on enemies and gives them burns, which gets even worse with his new exclusive charm, which makes those burns deal even more damage. And like I said, he is also a fire type now, so it got that elemental boost behind him too, which gets him to the S tier. Then Kraken is at number 12, and reason for this insane jump is simple. Kraken got a major buff to his skill cooldown, which makes his practically the best last lane monster, as he can insta-kill any non-hero enemy that slips through, without even needing any level. So another S tier. Then at number 11, we have Dracobel, and her being on this top is because she has an insane attacking power, and her cosmic element can prove useful in a multitude of scenarios, and she can act as the main attacking unit. So another S tier. Then at number 10, we have Anubis, and Anubis has got a little downfall became of one simple thing. He is just not that necessary anymore. He served a purpose in past, but now he's just got convenience, rather than a necessity. Plus his insta-kill is gone, so an S tier for him. Then at number 9, we have Azura, the cool-looking being, and he got a massive attack impact radius now, which makes him an immensely powerful creature, and his special also makes him much stronger, and it does not depend upon any other monster to give him a boost. So he gets an S tier too. But then at number 8, we have Horus, and of course he is going to be here. He is the only boosting unit that placed in every single layout. I mean, a layout seems incomplete unless Horus is in there, and that speaks volume. So with his 180% speed boost, he gets to the S tier too. But then at number 7, we have Loki, and surely this one is a bit biased. I don't like Loki that much anymore. Not having the ability to deal with hordes of enemies makes him a bit of a weakling when it comes to realistic fights, but he is still a boss killer, which gets him all the respect and puts him in top of S tier. So now we come to number 6, and there we have Hanzo, and it's always awkward for me to rank Hanzo. She is my personal favorite monster in the game, and that personal bias towards her always makes me rank her in highest tier, but I think this time I can justify myself a bit more. So firstly, Hanzo got a global attack. She got an insane damage buff recently. She is coolest looking monster, and she gives 500,000% luck boost, meaning if you get her, your day would go much better than it normally does. So she deserves the god tier. Then at number 5, we got Hela, and she is the greatest poison monster in the game now, with her area poisoning ability, and her attacks are powerful too, but she's just slightly above Loki in ranking, because Loki is single enemy related, while Hela can deal with a huge army of them. So another god tier. Then at number 4, we have Jiraiya, and Jiraiya is certainly the best ice monster in the game right now, with his global slowness, power, as well as global icy beam. There's nothing left in this monster which we can desire it to have. So a full-packed monster indeed, and just for that, he gets to god tier 2. Then coming to number 3, and there we have King in yellow, and King makes a comeback after all of the elemental maps got easier, including Cosmic Tower, and since he can pair well with the monsters above him, his usability increases a million folds, landing him in the god tier. Then at number 2, We have Osiris. And who would even argue with that? Osiris can give extra gold. And there was no better time than now when we needed excess gold. So any help is welcomes. But Osiris being Osiris can give mega help. So he's not just strong, but he is a monster of necessity. Plus, he can also pair well with King in yellow. So you can beat all basic maps with him. And since he is non-elemental, you can also play meat of the matter with him. So another god tier. But now coming to number 1. And there we have the greatest comeback of Summoner's Greed, where Hades has finally achieved what I genuinely thought was impossible for him. Hades was just another monster in a mix like 2 months prior. But now, he holds the crows. And that's also not by a little margin. But it's like double stronger than the second strongest. Literally untouchable and can deal the insane amount of damage. So Hades sits at the top of the god tier. And yup. With that said, the list is concluded. But anyways, I hope you liked this video. I know this video went a bit longer than I usually keep. But great pieces of arts can't be rushed. Also, if you disagree with any monster placement on the video, let me know in comments what would you change. Thanks for watching, just keep